Remember, it's his brothers. He loves them. Vayafshitu et Yosef kutanto. That special treatment, the kutonet that he had at kitonet hapasim asher alav, without any dialogue, without any talking. Vayikachu, they take him, meaning by force. Vayashlichu oto habora. You might think that the word lashlich, like in modern day Hebrew, is throwing him. Lashlich does mean in modern day Hebrew. But apparently, according to the Talmud, the word lashlich is to lower him down. Apparently, they tied him up with a rope or something, and they lowered him down to where? Vayashlichu oto habora. Habora. Habora is written with a vav or without a vav? Without a vav. It's the bore is lacking. There's nothing there. Habora without a vav. And then the Torah says, Vabor reik, ein bo mayim. And now it's written with a vav. Why is the bore written with a vav completely, but if it says it's reik, ein bo mayim, there's no water in it. I know if the bore is reik, then I know there's no water in it. Isn't that redundant? Why do I need the Torah to tell me vabor reik and there's no water in it? To hint to me there's something else in it. That there are snakes and scorpions. Gemara, Masechet Shabbat, Perek Sheni, on the sugya of Hanukkah, brings this pasuk, vabor reik ein bo mayim. The Gemara asks, if the bore is reik empty, I know there's no water in it. Answer, mayim ein bo. Nechashim v'akrabim yesh bo. Snakes and scorpions are inside the bore. Ruvain. Where's Ruvain? Where's Ruvain? There he is. I beg your pardon. Didn't you say to all of us that we'll just let him die? If I bring a person into the zoo and I open up the cage of the lion and I deliver a person into the cage of the lion, do you know what that is equivalent to?
Murder.
Why?
Because of your act.
It's directly your act, like pulling the trigger. He's going to be gone. The lion's going to have lunch. Right?
Yes.
Now, didn't you tell us, Reuven, that we're not going to murder him? He'll just die? But here it says, Vabor reik ein bo mayim, but there are nechashim and akrabim. Aren't there snakes and scorpions in there? As Rashi brings this midrash. So how is that not murder? What's the answer? What's the answer? And the connection is to Hanukkah. What is the connection to Hanukkah? To what height can you light near Hanukkah?
20 amot. To what? Maximum?
Maximum height.
20 amot.
20 amma, which is how many meters?
10 meters.
10 meters. Why not? What does the Gemara say? Why not?
Like to publicize the
Explain.
miracle. If it's too high, nobody will see.
What's the matter? Your mother didn't teach you when you walk in the streets, you walk this way?
No.
Oh, you don't walk that way?
Like the streets where I walk.
You don't walk this way in the street?
I'm gonna stumble over something.
See, mother told you don't do that, right? You're gonna walk into a pole or something.
Yeah.
Did you get what's going on here? Why? We asked, how did they lower him into a bore that's full of snakes and scorpions? Isn't that murder? The answer is? The answer is? What?
It was shallow?
They didn't know because it was dark. They couldn't see.
They can't see down to the bottom of the bore. Why not?
Because there's no light, no light.
Too deep.
It's so deep. It's 20 amma. It's 10 meters. And the eye cannot see. Just like you can't see going up, you don't see things so high up. So too, you don't see things going so down. My dear friends, they did not know the boar has snakes and scorpions. They didn't know. What they did know is that we're going to put him into a bore. If God wants it, then he's going to die. If God will miraculously save him, then God is doing a din in Shamayim that we don't know. But right now, we can't let him take away our lives. We consider him plotting against us. Okay? So we now understand the connection between this pasuk and Hanukkah. Okay? The eyes do not see that far up. The eyes do not see that far down. And therefore they did not know. In the interim, pasuk kafei vayeshvu lechol lechem. Oh, it's time for lunch. What does that tell you? By the way, we're appointing you, Shushan, to be Yosef. Yosef's right now in the board, and we're going to have lunch. No,
I can see them, so
you can't see them. No, what are you? What's going on? What are you
I
doing?
have no lunch.
I know. What are you doing?
I'm sitting down there like
Oh, you're just complacent. You're so satisfied. You're so happy. You're sitting there.
I'm screaming like.
So scream.
Okay.
What are you saying?
Yeah, help me.
Hatzilo! Rescue me! Hatzilo! Save me! Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Do you hear him screaming?
Yes.
And it says you're sitting down to have a meal?
Doesn't bother you.
What kind of heart do you have?
No.
No heart. So I think they do have a heart. So what do you think they did? They went far away, maybe. Maybe they went far away. And they don't, because they can't tolerate the screaming. Vayeshvu lechol lechem. They're eating a food. A lechem is not necessary, but it's a meal. Vayisu eineihem. They lift up their eyes. Vayiru. V'hinei, surprise. Orechat Yishmaelim, a convoy of Yishmaelim. Ba'a migilad. Datan, we said, is the north side of the Shomron. It's towards the town today called Ganim, where there were so many terrorists. They call it in Latin Janin. But the Shomron town is called Ganim, as we learn in the Tanakh. Ganim is very close to the Gilboa Mountains. Datan is not far from Janin, Ganin. Ganin is Mamish on the other side of the Gilboa Mountains. If some of you learned about the Gilboa Mountains overlooking the Afula Valley, one of the biggest valleys in the country, and the Beit Shan Valley going east. On the other side of the Jordan River, we have the Giladi Mountains. This would be the biblical route from Mesopotamia to get to Africa, going through Golan, the Giladi Mountains, crossing into the Shomron, and then going down to Egypt, to Africa. So there's a group there, Yishmaelim, Ba'a Migilad. What do they have for sale? Ugmalayim nosim, their camels are carrying nechot, utzri, valot. What are these three things, gentlemen? Spices. Holechim lorid Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is the big market. Mitzrayim is the center of civilization at this time. So they're en route. So you know how Hebrews are. They're always looking for a good deal or a good sale, right? We got some people coming here. Vayomer Yudai lechav. Yudah has an idea. Ma betza ki narog et achinu v'chisinu et damo. What gain are we going to get that we use the word harog, right? Beforehand we use the word shfichut damim. Laharog is like to cause the, no, we said shfichut damin is to murder. Laharog is to cause the death, but it's not, it's like manslaughter, it's not murder, first degree murder. Okay? What gain will we have? Ki narog et achinu v'chisinu et damo, and then we'll cover his blood up, meaning, think of an alibi, think of a story. Yehuda says, Lechu v'nimkarenu la'yishmaelim. Let us go where? To the boar. And we'll sell him to the Ishmaelim v'yadeinu al tehivo. And you know what? We won't have a hand. We won't have a terrible act in his death. Why? Ki achinu v'sareinu. Sof, in the end, he's our brother. He's our flesh. The brothers hear this. Vayishme'u echav, and they hear this matter. They hear it, they understand it. Do you hear what I say? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Okay? Okay. My dear friends, we're about to rise and understand here what has happened until now. This terrible situation is, it all started with Yosef showing supremacy, showing leadership, and bringing bad reports of his brothers to his father. We said bad reports, but it was all the truth. We all see that in addition, that Yaakov has special love for Yosef. He loves all his sons. Mikol Benav, we said. All of them are loved. But Yosef, he loves special because he's the what?
The son of Menachem.
And he was also called the Ben Zikunim. How did we explain yesterday? What is the term Ben Zikunim?
Is wise.
The wisest. Onkelos and others talk him that he is the wisest. He absorbs the Torah of Yaakov Avinu. He absorbs the inspiration of God faster and better than anyone else. And you know what? Yosef is given a special cloak, the Ketonet Pasim, okay, like a royal robe, a royal cloak. Maybe an action that symbolizes that Yosef is worthy. Yosef is worthy because he has all this wisdom, his nature, his appearance, his talents. He can be a leader. You know, when you see in a certain son a certain character trait, you have to develop it. Again, one of my grandsons is really, really sharp. He goes to, I don't know, once or twice a week to a school for gifted children. Again, I didn't even know. He just told me the other day. He's only in 3rd grade. And Abba, they drive me and I go, it's for gifted children. He says it naturally, as if he's a gifted child. He knows like Masechtot by heart already in Mishnayot. He can rattle off this or that. When you see a certain attribute, it's very important as a parent to develop that trait. And here we see time and time again, as I'm summarizing what we're learning here, based on an article of my dear father, Rabbi Horowitz, that the Torah mentions several times the name Yisrael and not the name, because here we're talking about considerations of the building of Klal Yisrael. We had it on the board yesterday, Hatziburiyut HaYisraeli, the public. But what led to this tragedy that we're learning here? When you evaluate in your own mind what is happening and you make a mistake, then it can lead to tragedy. They thought that they're not loved at all. That's how they saw. They saw that we are just the brothers of Yosef and not the son of?
Yaakov.
Not the son of Yaakov. Okay? Do you remember, not long time ago, in their grandparents' house, Yitzchak Avinu, there was one brother that was accepted and another brother that was rejected. And their great-grandfather's house, there too was one brother that was accepted and the others rejected. Could that be our destiny? That we too will be rejected and only Yosef will be accepted or selected? And we hear about this. We, the brothers here, 2 dreams that we're bowing down to our brother. Our talents, our attributes, our greatness will not be revealed in the world if we're going to be stifled, if we're going to have to be submitting ourselves. So what we're learning here is something very, very basic. That the story of a grudge, of the less love that they have for their brother, is all based upon their evaluation, their estimation, which, had they not made this estimation evaluation, it could have caused a more happier story between Yosef and the brothers. But it's clear that Yosef senses that he had to tell the dreams, like a Navi had to tell the dreams. And he cannot stifle himself. My dear friends, what we're seeing here is that God's divine objective in the world, to bring down 70 people to Mitzrayim eventually, is going to happen through the choice, the freedom of choice of these brothers, for the good and for the less good. Right now, it's very serious. It's very tragic. They think that he is plotting against them. Yosef is plotting against them, to the extent that they think they have no choice but to kill him, to murder him. And Reuven says, no, that's too much. Let's cause his death. The plan is to save him. And then Yehuda sees, wow, this is not by mere incidence. The appearance of this convoy, this group of sellers, you know what? Maybe let's just get rid of him. Let's send him down to Egypt. Let's sell him. And that's what they do. Pasuk Kavchet 28. Vayavru anashim midyanim. Here's a different group. Socharim, merchants. Vayimshechu. Vayalu et Yosef ben Abor. Get the dust off, all the dirt off your clothing. Who pulls him out? Who pulls Yosef up from the bore?
The Midianites. The Midianim.
It's unclear who are the ones pulling up Yosef. Is it the Midianim? Is it the Ishmaelim?
Or the brother.
Or is it the brothers? It says, Vayalut Yosef ben Abor, Vayimkaru et Yosef, to who? To the Ishmaelim, Besrim Kasef. Was there a sale in between? Maybe the Midianim. Maybe the Midianim brought him up and sold and took him and bought him from the brothers, and now they're selling him to the Ishmaelim for 20 silvers. What does that number represent? We'll see tomorrow. Vayaviu et Yosef Mitzrayma. Things here are unclear. B'ezrat Hashem, in a short tomorrow, we hope to clarify.